So stance for putting is very similar to a full swing, where you want to have that comfortable knee bend, athletic position. You're bending from the waist. You're not necessarily bending, well, I mean, your spine angle isn't necessarily as important for the full swing, so you don't, if you kind of feel like if your back's a little arched, that's not the end of the world. That's all right. The biggest thing, like you just said, is getting your eyes over the ball. So the biggest, when we're hitting a full swing, you know, club's out, ball's about out here. My eyes are right, kind of. I mean, it's about 6 inches away from the ball. The biggest thing is to so our eyes over the ball. So if I were to take an eye, or the ball from my eye, and just drop it, it should come down just right on the ball, or at least level. Mine was just a little behind the ball, so I should just move up a little bit, and that helps kind of line up the putt. So to line up the putt, I'm sure as you guys all know, you see like this line here, and we want that pointed at our target, and sometimes it's at the hole, sometimes it's a cup outside the hole, like that. So, and the way a putt works is like a pendulum, and it just swings back and forth. So if this was the pendulum, that's all we want. That's the motion we want. Just 1, 2. We don't want a motion that goes back really quick and then nice and slow. We want just a nice 1, 2, 1, 2. And however far we take the club back is how far we want to move the club forward. So if I had this ruler here, let me line this up a little bit here. Should be a straight putt. But if I'm in the center of the ruler, this is a 6-inch ruler, it'd be better if we had like a yardstick. But if I take it back 3 inches, I'm finishing 3 inches, okay? And I'm keeping that motion to where it's just nice 1, 2, just like that. It's simple, but it's something people struggle with. When you're standing over this, I mean, this is probably about 2-foot putt here. People are thinking so hard, okay, I gotta get this ball in the hole, gotta get this ball in the hole. They take it back really far, and then they just kind of like slow up. You know, they do funky things. Yeah. And the idea is we gotta get that motion 1, 2. And to do that, we don't want to break any wrists. So that's why that grip is so popular, because it takes the wrist completely out of the putt. And how we rock, and we don't want to putt with our hips. We don't want to putt like this. We don't want to putt like this. To see, this is how we're using the wrist. We don't want that. To do that, all you do is just kind of rock your hips or your shoulders, just 1, boom, just kind of like that. So see how my shoulders are kind of going up, down. I'm not going like this. I'm just going 1, 2. And so if you take that, it's just 1, 2, just nice.
So you don't actually follow through more. You try and end the same amount that you came back.
Ideally, yeah. Ideally, so if you're taking it back here, you're finishing here, and it's just a way to keep control of your putt, and you can gain consistency, because you can say, okay, if I take it back here and I finish here and it goes that far, how far if I go back here and it's going to go that far? So it's just a way to gauge, and that's what's important about golf. Last week I said something about kind of being aware of your distance. When you hit a good shot, kind of be aware of that distance. It's the same thing with putting. You got to know, and it varies with green speeds, but still you have enough of an idea, especially when it's something like a 3-foot putt. Say, okay, I know for a 3-foot putt, I only take it back 3-4 inches, and I finish 3-4 inches. All right. So any questions on that or anything? I'm gonna let you use mine, because that's an old putter. I don't even think that's a putter. But we're just gonna start out with just about 1-foot, 2-foot putts. I don't want anyone taking right now putts outside of about here. And the idea, the goal, is to make as many putts as possible. Ideally, you don't want to miss one. From this distance, this is a distance where, I mean, if you miss a putt left, that's another stroke. That's a stroke we don't want. Okay? So, And if you guys want,